Hello all, I am Patrice. I am a singer, songwriter, voice coach who is here for you all. I have been teaching for over a decade, and the really cool thing about that I always say is in that time I've worked with hundreds of artists and been able to see what's been effective and what hasn't been. And so my sole mission here is to show you and guide you through the things that do work for vocalists and the things that just don't. So I thought today I would bring you a little bit of a different video, and I'm going to deconstruct, let's just say, a part of one of my favorite people in the world, Celine Dion, her All Coming Back to Me. I kind of was inspired. I was on TikTok and I was like, oh, someone was like looking at the video and I was like, oh my God, I love this song. And they were kind of like, oh gosh, how, basically implying like, how does this person do it? And I'm like, okay, let's break this down. It doesn't have to be that crazy. It takes time. I know for me, like I've spent years like, oh my God, I remember being like a kid and like rocking Celine Dion, being like, I love Celine Dion and wanting to do this. So there are some definite things that if I could speak to myself as a child, would be like, this is what you need to be doing, Patrice. So I want to share that with you today. So stay with me as I deconstruct It's All Coming Back to Me by Celine Dion. I'm going to take it into, I'm not going to sing the whole song. I don't think you want me to sit here and just sing a song for you. I'm going to sing a part of the song that goes from the lower parts into the higher parts. And then I'll just break down what's ultimately happening, what helps me hit the notes, what helps me transition between the lower parts and the higher parts there. And so I'm going to take it in from about a minute and 45 seconds into the song. And let's see. I might have to look at this here a little bit just to refresh. Or if I throw another word in there, just forgive me. I'll do that. I'll add words. It's great. But when I touch you like this and I hold you like that, it's just hard to admit that it's all coming back to me. When I touch you like this and I hold you like that, it's so hard to believe, but it's all coming back to me. It's all coming back, it's all coming back to me now. There were moments of gold and there was flashes of light. There were things I'd never do again, but then they'd always seem right. There were nights of endless pleasure. There was more than any loss allowed. Baby, 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 if I kiss you like this. So, okay, perfect. I had to look at a recording thing here. So, that being said, let's break this down. It goes really low, goes really high. One of the main things I always talk about is placement. Be sure that with this, you are placing things correctly. So what does placement mean? Well, I have a bunch of other videos where I can talk about this, so that I talk about this. So be sure to check those out. But as a quick review, right? You could be singing something throaty. So if I take a part of this song and I'm going to walk you through the different places, right? There were nights of endless pleasure. There was more, that you can hear it pinching in my throat. Then you have the quiet singers, right? So I'll just let it roll through. They're singing in the middle of the mouth, and then with their nasal. Oh, I can't do it on this part. I lost my nasal. Okay. Right. There were nights of endless pleasure. There was more than any love to love. Right? So it kind of gets shifted into the nose. And then we have our forward. This is what I work with my artist on. Touch you like this, and I whisper like that. Right? So hopefully you can kind of get a good sense. There's a throat we can sing in. There's the middle of the mouth. There's the nose. And then there's the mask. And so this is what I work with my artist on, because It's the best clear sounds. I will note though, like you have Ariana Grande, you even Celine Dion, she does like some nasal stuff. So it's kind of part of your natural voice. The nasal isn't like wrong. I guess nothing technically is. It's just good vocal health and then good sounds and what is part of your natural voice, right? So everyone has their natural tones, and that is going to determine certain elements that may come through more so than for others. So there's a nasal and then there's the forward. But forward helps us like transition a lot smoother, a lot cleaner. Even if you have those nasal elements, it's still like nice and forward with that. So that's a huge thing to keep in mind, is that we want to be able to place that sound forward. And it really comes down to a combination of things coming together simultaneously. And if you want to get some of those tools and techniques, be sure to check out below this video, because I have a link for the first part of my vocal program, Learn to Sing Like the Pros. And I walk through all the different pieces that you need to do to really master your placement. It's completely free. It's my gift for you all. So be sure below this video, check it out for free. Or if you come from somewhere else, up above, down below, up above, either place. So that's number one, is for good placement, I need to master my breathing. I need to understand tongue position. So when I'm doing certain things, my tongue isn't moving like it does now when I'm talking. And you can observe that. Just talk and notice how it can roll up. It can go a little bit more on the top part of the roof of the mouth. But when I'm doing a lot of this stuff, if I go back a little bit here, I'll pause and see if you can get a close shot of my tongue. It's all coming back to me. Like that tongue is forward there. And then as it rolls forward, because it creates, the reason for that too, just before I go too far, is the reason you want that tongue forward is it creates a nice open space. Because how your vocal cords work, the higher you go, they tighten. The lower you go, they loosen. So it has to be a quick transition, especially, we go from here. You like that. It's so hard to believe, all coming back to me. It's all coming back to me now. Right? All of a sudden I would low, and then I'm going to work my way higher. So I want to maintain that space, because the vocal cords are making swift moves, and any kind of tension, and you pull your tongue back and that's going to add tension, is going to create that shifting sound between them, make it a lot harder. So that's there. You also notice I do little smiles at times. The shape of your mouth is so important. It's not going to stay the same shape throughout. Especially higher notes, I tend to like lift, right? You can do a little smile at times. You'll see singers, just watch them. I call them like the crazy faces, but like they're awesome. It doesn't bother anyone, it doesn't bother me. But they make those faces, and it helps to help carry the sound, open things up, or shift certain things up into like the natural resonator of the hard palate. And so you have your placement, all of those pieces come together to get that here. Part of placement is how I shape my mouth, energy. So when I'm coming into those higher notes, you have to be pushing more. And it's almost like, to some people, you'll see like it helps me to put my body in that. So when we're doing coming into, it's all coming back to me. It's all coming back to me now. There were moments of gold and there was flashes of light, right? Gold and there's the energy element to it. And then the final part that I'll talk about is vowels. Gold, right? There were moments of gold and there were flashes, right? All flashes of light. Speaking it, we sound ridiculous, but makes a huge difference when it comes to singing, and also thinking about those words connected. I would say like there's separate words or separate notes, but think about like stringed popcorn, right? It's separate pieces of popcorn, but they all come together and to make that beautiful garland that you could put around your tree or something, right? But they're connected. They're separate, but they're connected. And that's the way that I envision the notes flowing, and I envision the words going. So I hope this helps you. If you want to see more of these videos, comment below. Let me know if you like, and what happened here, if it helped you at all, if it serviced you. Also be sure to comment if there are videos that you would like to see. I'm here to help you, so let me do that. Comment below if there's things you're running into, and I can address those. And lastly, be sure to subscribe. There's weekly content coming out, and I want you to be the first to get it. So thank you for joining me. If you stayed to the end, you're a rock star, and I hope that this coming year brings you lots of improvements with your voice. All right, bye now.